Thank you for that. Our next question is from the Conservative Party, Ms. Ambler.
And thank you to all of our witnesses for being here today. We appreciate your time and your testimony very much. My question, when I told friends and family and constituents that I was coming here this week to sit on this committee about this new legislation, a couple of people, not very many, but a handful, said their comment was, you know, you're not going to change, you're not going to stop prostitution. It's been around forever. Is it the oldest or second oldest profession? Whatever the saying is. Oh, you're the second. All right, oldest profession. And so I'm heartened by the testimony and the beliefs that there are organizations and people who work in this, who work with prostitutes and in this world, who do believe that it is possible to build a world without prostitution, and that should be our goal. And so I guess I want to ask the women who have lived this, do you, Natasha and Rose, do you think that this should be the goal of legislation, to eradicate, and if not fully eradicate, at least substantially reduce the amount of prostitution in this country?
Yeah, certainly. We should aim to end all forms of violence in this country, and prostitution is just another form of violence. You know, we have child abuse, we have domestic violence, we have all these different various forms of violence, and we don't just succumb, we don't just accept these and find legislation that can help make it easier for them to be less abused. We aim to end, our laws are designed to end these forms of abuse and reduce these forms of violence. And so, do I believe that abuse is ever going to go away? Maybe not, but we don't give up. We don't give up for the people who are being harmed by it.
Thank you. Ms. McDonald, I can see you shaking your head, so I have a feeling it's because you don't think that, you don't see prostitution as abuse. I'm wondering, and I want to thank you for what you do, and that I understand that you want to reduce the harm, and that, you know, that you want to help. My question for you, and I know that you consider this pragmatic, and you look at it in that way, and I appreciate that. I'd like to ask you, though, in addition to counseling women in the sex trade on how to do it more safely and how to protect themselves, do you also counsel them to get out eventually? Is that your end goal as well?
It is not my end goal. Exit is not my end goal. I do actually support people who come to me and say, I want to start looking for another job. We're actually planning to have a workshop about how to write a resume, how to do a cover letter. We offer our clients a space where they can use our computers and printing out of those kind of things. But the thing is, people know that when they come to Maggie's, that they're not going to be judged. Okay. They're not going to be told that they're bad or that they should want to leave. They're not going to be told, such as the woman from Walk With Me earlier said, that they can build their healing journey in jail. Like, what was that even?
No one is suggesting that, and there are no provisions in this bill to put prostitution in jail.
Yes, there are. There
aren't. We're talking about summary convictions, which do not lead to criminal records of any kind.
And what if they're working with? What if they're working in the area of young 18 or younger?
May I ask you how you got out?
Yeah. It's been my experience that most of us had to hit a rock bottom to get out, which means near-death experiences, mental health issues, being institutionalized, and sometimes jail actually gives us the opportunity to have that time to be able to think about our life circumstances. Obviously jail is not an exit program, as might have been implied by others, but Yeah, I managed to get out because I went 12 years in the sex trade industry. I was forced, and I also sold independently. I have sold sex in illegal establishments and legal establishments. And I went 10 of those 12 years never using hard drugs. In fact, I was very discriminative against people who did use drugs. And the trauma caught up with me. I'd been sexually assaulted by a driver for escorts. The escort drivers that were driving me from A to B were coke dealers. It was easily accessible, and a trauma incident had happened, and I didn't know how to cope, and I did turn to cocaine, and I spent 2 years on cocaine, and I developed a drug-induced schizophrenia, and that was a pretty scary experience for me.